Welcome, guys, to the finale of the Iron Studios Thundercat statue review series. And, of course, finishing up with the kittens, WILYKIT and WILYKAT. And I mentioned last time, yeah, they look like little demon children. And I don't think I ever realized how much she has a syndrome thing going on. Or did Syndrome have a thing for Thundercats and we just never knew it? Think about it. Here, I'll bring a picture of Syndrome right here. Right? So there is the front down there. You got Iron Studios logo there. Art scale, 1/10 scale. By the way, these are 1/10 scale, guys, so don't ask me. I measure every time, and I tell you the scale. You can figure it out. Images there. Got the light there. I don't think I ever noticed. I think this is the Iron Studios logo right here. Kind of at the slash. I don't know, maybe. And come through here. Logo. WILYKIT. Really great box art, if I'm honest. Like, just very nice design work here. And come to the back, and of course, image of the actual thingy. This is the only other one that does light up, so it is what it is. By the way, Iron Studios, please, please, please make Mumra and the Mutants as another 5 set of diorama statues, please, because I need to have that in my life. And you can give us Mamut as well. And yeah, Mamut was Mumra, normal mode, then a big old transform Mumra, and then the 4 mutants. Do it! Anyway, there's a nice image there. WILYKIT, and stuff on the bottom. There you go. Go to the website if you want to see those things. They also have these weird, like, little SD kind of versions of the Thundercats. I kind of want them. They're somewhat affordable, and they're kind of cute. I don't know. I'll see. But let's get these guys out here. And they are the scariest, not because they look like demon children, but because they are the most precariously mounted and the smallest base. I said the Tiger had the smallest base. I was wrong. So we'll look at it. Let's go. All right, here we have the 2 kittens ready to go. A little bit of dust. And I'm going to turn on the turntable. You see, they're tiny. I managed to get it all in one shot. It's a little tight, but it is what it is. So these, I think they may have been the cheapest. If they weren't, they should be, because obviously they're smaller than everybody else. And as you can see, they are the most precariously mounted, as it's just their feet plugged in. That's scary. I almost would have liked it if they were on their, like, skyboard thingies. That would have been kind of cool. But either way, they should probably give us some side characters, like the Burbills, the, like, Snow Warrior guy, stuff like that, or the, like, Amazon chicks that Lino kind of had a thing with, but not. I forgot her name. You know what I'm talking about. You know, she's wearing the, like, orange, like, slung over fur, and her sister is, like, super distrusting. You know what I'm talking about? I think you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, this one does come with the big old Thundercat logo right in the base, and it does light up. So let's look at it closer off the turntable. Alright, guys, so just like Lino, to activate the electronics, you come to the bottom. I'm being very careful here. So this one does have the little cover. It's not really attached. Just sort of a stuck-in thing. I mean, it's got like a little tiny sort of tab. I think it's made of the same plastic as the rest of the base, but it's kind of a pain, if I'm honest with you. So the one for Lino, when it ripped off, I kind of didn't care. You know, it's just stuck here with 3M, so in theory you could tear that off or whatever. I assume that it's stuck on the base here with the printing, and then they cut that hole out with like a laser. I had to guess. So you can see here, I'm missing the screw. Actually, you can't see. So I'm missing the screw there. This is the little area that you pull out like that. And you can see that it does not come with. It takes LR44 batteries, just like Lino. And you can see that initially this was made to have a little slip in there so that it would have come with the batteries initially. Now, if they ever release it with the batteries installed, that would be awesome for those people, instead of having to go and get batteries. On-off switch is here. Sort of tuck that in again, and you get Thundercat logo very nicely lit up. You know, very Eye of Thundera-esque. And if I turn off the light, You can see how much it really glows. Kind of like Rudolph's, schnoz. Turn the lights back on. By the way, that's how ridiculous the settings are on my camera. You can't see anything when it's off. And since it is kind of light, you can just see here, it's almost like an arc reactor. Ripped out, dry brushing, shading, broken stuff, jagged rocks all over the place. It does look really, really cool. Now, I will say, like, the way these are lit, I want to find a way to integrate it into the lighting I have from IKEA. So I need to find a way to have a step-down converter from 24 volts to 3 volts and connect it to these things so I can just push the button to turn on my lights, and these lights all come on. I think that would be really badass. And so we got all these. And once again, I was mentioning how they mount. So he's got the same metal kind of rod, and it is just sort of sticking into the rock here. Hers is the same way. These two were the hardest to get mounted, and they are the least stable in that they wobble a little bit. And we'll get in close to look at these tiny demonic cat faces. Look at that. They're evil, and they're strangely off color. And she's got bullets. Like, I remember them throwing like little capsules with like smoke bombs and stuff like that. He looks super mischievous with his rubber arm. Look at that. Look at that rubber arm. She looks fine. He's got rubber arms. I don't know what's going on there. Once again, shading a little bit here and there, but probably the least amount of detail work for all of them. Actually, the shading really shows here. She's got highlights on her belly and then gets a little darker as it goes up. She's got her like little whip rope. He's got his. They're color-coded and they don't stand out at all. Like, they needed a wash. Like, these are the weakest for sure of the bunch. Especially with the fact that their hair should be washed. I think he's supposed to be almost some kind of kin to Tigra. You know, it kind of makes it obvious. She looks like she's more kin to Lion-O. I don't mean in the literal sense, but, you know, with the way their bodies are, you know. And he's all orange and stuff. And her colors are just absurd. But they're very cool still in their own right. You're mostly buying the Thundercats logo. Let's just be honest here. And let's get out the measuring tape again. And get the overall height to the top of her head is about 8 3/4. Width is maybe 4.5 inches. Depth, since they don't really exceed the width of the base, maybe 5 inches. So that's, you know, showing you how it goes. Now, I've been talking about it since the beginning on how you can set this diorama up. I will back out to about there. Try not to show off the sides if I can help it. So we will bring all of them out and we'll finally see the comparison between them all. I know some of you have been like, hey, why can't you compare them all? Because I was waiting till now. That's why. You be careful with good old Lion-O here. Also, I don't want to drop it on my glass counter here. Or top. Okay, we need Chitara. Now, this is the way they show them on the box and in display images to arrange them like this. Oh, got a wifey hair here. Hold on. Her hair gets everywhere. Okay, we need Tigra to go back here. Like so. And good old Panthro. Now, mind you, I'm not zoomed out super far, but you can see how they all integrate. Now, Panthro needs to be a little bit more like this. Now, I, generally speaking, on my shelf, have them kind of spread out so you can see them a little bit better. More or less like this, and I've got Tigra kind of like that. So, and I measured it to where they were probably like 17 inches wide, I believe. Ultimately together, that's why I put them on the Besta the way I did, because it gave me plenty of room to work. Now, something I wanted to show is how you can sort of integrate them together. Now, let me get Panthro and good old boy here. And this area down here kind of fits right about there. And then this area right back here pretty much fits together with Tigra. And there was a spot that was almost like it was magnetized, like it just felt like something clicked, more or less. And then with Chitara, more or less kind of tucks in right here. You can see there's a little bit of a spot right here where they sort of tuck together. And then WILYKIT, WILYKAT, tuck in around about here, like that. Now that means that the logo sort of disappears. Actually, you know what? I think this probably is more like this. Okay. Let me see here, because you can see there's a cutout there. So let me come around here, and you can see how there's kind of a cutout where they sort of go together. Now, there's no official anything on this. It's just sort of, this is how they assemble together. But you can see how certain parts fit together more than they don't. Now, it is really tight, and of course you are hiding some detail, like the way that she is there, and then Tigra is just sort of literally leaping away. I mean, it's possible he should be tucked up a little tighter, which I guess also works, because it sort of tucks in right there against the ear. So, I mean, that works too. I think it works a little bit less than the original position, but it is what it is. So that looks fantastic. I'm going to get kind of a lower shot here so I can show all of them off together along with my poles in the background. It is what it is. So there we go. There's all the Thundercats together finally. I don't have the lights turned on Lionel, so that kind of sucks. But I'll turn it on for, pictures. And, since I have the space, like I said, I spread them out on the shelf. But if you had a little bit, I think they are roughly, forgot how deep it goes. Probably like, I think maybe 10 inches or 11 inches at max. But then width-wise is maybe 13.5, 14 inches without expanding it any further. Like, this is about as tight of a configuration as you can get and still not hide all the details. So, if you try, you could cram it in a small billy. I think it would be a little too tight. I think they needed more room to breathe. That's why I put them in a Besta, of my own, choice. But it's a ridiculously good set, guys. Cannot emphasize how good these are. Are they a little pricey for what you get? Possibly. If they're more limited than they let on, then the price is justified. They are still very good. And the fact that all the bases, super heavy, all of the figures individually are all they're robust, except for the kids. They're just tiny. It is what it is. The electronics included. Kind of wish there was a little bit more to it. But it is what it is. The idea that I want to integrate a remote control for them so they turn on with the rest of my lighting is something I want to do. I don't know if it's doable. If you have the ability to do that and you could hit me up and help me out a little bit, by all means, that would be great. I don't have any kind of electronics expertise in that field. But in theory, they could run off USB power as well. And I could just rig up a different type of remote. Because it's 3 volts, like, because 2 1.5s, 2 1.5s, so 3.3 volts is more than enough to run one of them. And I have found step down converters that can go from 24 volts to 3.3 volts. I just have no idea how to use them without having to, do breadboards and all that kind of mess. So let me know down below if you have any kind of idea of what I'm talking about. And let me know what you think about the set overall. Do you think I was stupid for getting these? Do you wish you could get them yourself? And if you have the Super 7 figures, how do you feel about this set and how it looks ultimately, comparatively to your Super 7 figures? On if you're going to have a display or you just got them all kind of crammed on a shelf. But guys, that's going to be it for the Thundercat series review for now. Really hope that Iron Studios will come up with Mum-Ra and the Mutants down the line, because that will be absolutely fantastic. Really, really cool bad guys. And, you know, there's a lot they can do. We still don't have a Jaga. It would be great to have a big Jaga that goes behind, like kind of over the shoulder and almost like a ghostly form. That would be so awesome. And there's technically room back there. You could sneak up a whole nother Jaga statue back there. That would be great. Or if you wanted to integrate the new three with Pumaira and those guys, Linkso and I forgot the other one. The other one I always forget. The Snow Tiger guy. I always forget. Either way, but I will catch you guys on the next review. And remember, as always, keep on nerding.